I'm professional mountain biker Ryan Petry.
And I'm professional cyclist Alexey Ryan.
We searched the country to find 3 novice bikers looking to take on the challenge of a lifetime.
We plan to help train and equip these new riders to tackle one of the hardest bike races in the nation, the Leadville Trail 100, a high-altitude event covering over 100 miles.
These riders have lots of training to do before then, as we're starting from the ground up.
Elevated at over 10,000 feet high in the Rockies lies the small town of Leadville, Colorado. It has a rich history of rugged exploration by tough individuals. Once a silver mining town, Leadville is now better known as the home of the Leadville Trail 100, one of the toughest races in the country. As part of their training, Johanna, David, and Rachel will be taking part in a 3-day camp to familiarize themselves with the actual race course and experience the true effects of elevation for the first time. But before the camp starts, they'll first head to Boulder, Colorado to run some tests with the sports science team at Wahoo and get a proper bike fit thanks to Retool.
I'm Jason Williams. I'm one of the lead fitters here at Retool headquarters in Boulder, Colorado. There's a huge amount of training that goes into preparing for Leadville, so the Retool fit is a really important part of preparation for the upcoming race and the training that goes along with that. It's a little interesting on the screen here, the front of the pelvis is down. We want to support that with the saddle best we can. So we basically do a 3D trace of the bike. The software prompts me to grab a series of calibration measurements here, so we actually know where the midline of the bicycle is. So we've learned a little bit about Rachel's injury history, flexibility, range of motion. Now it's time to get her on the bike, start pulling in some 3D dynamic measurements to see how she actually functions on the bike in real time. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and make a saddle change. We're gonna try a little bit wider seat, see if we can give a little bit more pelvic support. Initially, we noticed the seat was a little bit on the high side, so we did lower just a few millimeters. We went to a slightly longer and a slightly lower stem position.
This is already so much more comfortable.
With the bike fit complete, it's time to go to Wahoo Sports Science. All 3 riders took the half Monty ramp test at the beginning of this project, and they'll take another one now to measure their progress over the past few months of training.
Hi, I'm Neil Henderson, and we are here at the Wahoo Sports Science Center in Boulder, Colorado, and we are going to be here today to help our From the Ground Up project athletes get a little bit of information to help them train better and get ready for Leadville 100. It is time for a little test here. So we're going to poke under the hood a little bit. Couple different things we're gonna do. Number one, we've got this bike set up, the measurement style, just like you have on your bike. I'm gonna be calibrating this over here. This is gonna tell us how much oxygen and how much carbon dioxide you're both taking in and breathing out. That's gonna tell us actually how much carbohydrate and fat you're using throughout the test. And on the inside of your arm here, we have this sweat patch, which we're gonna keep on there as you ride. Once that's done, we're gonna take it off, and Dr. Gottschall is gonna measure the amount of sodium that's in your sweat, which is gonna really help you with information of how to stay hydrated. How much sodium do you need with the amount of fluid that you take in? Right. So, are you ready?
Yeah.
Ish?
Kind of.
All right, let's go anyhow. Wahoo is here to help build the better athlete. We're going to be looking at their oxygen consumption, we're going to be looking at their sweat rate, and we're also going to be looking at blood lactate to give us a little bit better idea for them in terms of their pacing and nutrition needs when they're getting ready to compete in Leadville. Respiration rate is up, VO2 is up, the amount of carbohydrate that he's using is elevated, heart rate's continuing to rise as well. Looks like he's got several more stages though. Good work, David. Training is a balance between working hard and recovering. If you only work but don't think about the rest and recovery, you actually can't be as good as you would be. So you have to think about that rest and recovery as what you do that will enable you to continue to be better, more fit, and more capable. This information is going to be really useful, and we can already see that he's stronger than where he was several months ago when we started this project. So it's fantastic to see this kind of a change.
What do you think? Can you go 10 in the next?
Just a little bit. Just get a little in there. A little in there.
Totally stop. Totally stop. That was good. Better than I expected.
5 more
Got
seconds.
it. 5.
3.
1.
Killed it!
Have a little water. That was super. Very, very well done.
Come on, make it through this one.
In 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right. Well done.
The data gathered during this test will be analyzed and disseminated to the athletes to determine how best to go forward in their final 6 weeks of training. Preliminary data suggests that all 3 riders have shown marked improvement since their initial ramp test taken at the beginning of the project. As the cyclists make their way to Leadville, one face is notably missing. Enzo will not be at the camp this weekend after a training accident left him with a broken arm.
I went to a mountain bike clinic, worked on my cornering some more, just was feeling super confident and relaxed, and at the end of the day I crashed because I was feeling fatigued and just wasn't paying attention, I guess. And I went to the ER, and I guess the tip of my right elbow is in a couple of pieces. Got this cool accessory. First stitch and first broken bone in my life. So, kind of sucks.
In Leadville, Johanna, David, and Rachel will join a community of roughly 75 other cyclists, all preparing to take on the Leadville Trail 100. Day 1 of the camp starts with a short downhill clinic to practice bike handling skills before the tough work begins.
If you're having a hard time talking, there's probably a reason. A, 10,000 feet, right? And we're not just gonna be at 10,000, we're gonna go up to 11,000. But also, we might be pushing a little bit hard. Let's take it easy, let's warm up, let's go have some fun. It's just tight. You can do it, lean into it, put your hip off to the left.
Outside is better.
Just watch it, look at your line, look ahead at your line.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Don't let the front wheel get sucked in.
Nice, looking good. Nice down. Follow through.
This chilly morning, crew is, you can just tell, very nervous right now. I think it'll be good once they get out there, they're with everybody, but yeah, the reality is 100% set in.
We will be racing the course in 2 days, and we're gonna do 48 miles, and the next day, I think we're doing 50 miles. I'm hoping to get familiar with the course and really prepare what we're about to get into.
I'm excited to have this camp just so I'm not going in blind on race day.
Day 1, we started at the pipeline aid station, work our way out to Columbine, and the goal is to get to the top of Columbine and then all the way back to pipeline aid station.
We get on our bikes, we start rolling out, and I very quickly find out that I can't operate at the speed I normally do. There's no other way to simulate this. I can't get over the altitude, man. It's like I have to relearn my body a little. Like, the pace I would normally maintain before would put me right at like 153 BPMs. I tried carrying the same pace, and I hit 175 like that. This altitude, man, it's no joke.
So I'm very discouraged because cramping and not feeling good. But yeah, kind of like resettled in.
Now it's getting really hard. And I also needed to get my heart rate down a little bit. It looks fine now. On the climbs, I want to stay high 150, 160. And I was getting up to like 165. But if I just stop for a minute, I mean, I've stopped for like 30 seconds and it's down to 134. I just set small goals. Make it to that tree. Make it to that next tree. Yeah. Whatever works, right?
How you feeling?
this moment, I'm feeling like 6 weeks isn't enough time, if I'm being honest. I'm hitting these stretches where I'm trying to climb and it's like, okay, head down, don't look up, don't look in the distance because that's scary. Keep your head down, keep pedaling. And that was my whole life before, all of it. It was just a slow grind. Just a slow, constant, go to work, do what needs to get done, repeat as necessary. And that's all that was. 6-7 years of living.
You're gonna make it, dude, I believe
life
in you.
head down. Thank you. At least now I get to do it out here. You know, as much as it sucks, as much as it hurts, as much as my legs want to stop working right now, like, if my problem right now is that I'm breathing really hard and my legs are tired, and I'm riding a bike in the woods, life's not that bad, you know?
Proud of you, dude.
Thanks.
So one of the biggest things I learned with David on day one was he's going to push him through. You don't need to convince him to keep pushing. It's just cool to see things click in their heads, because the minute it does, you know that that's going to be there on race day.
Good catch.
David's just freaking flying. Just made it back down off Columbine. Yes, the vibes are high right now, but there is still a long way to go back to Pipeline. So making sure that he's getting some fuel in, grabbing the things, and not forgetting that there's a long way to go. None of the three made it all the way to the top of Columbine, but super proud of all their efforts. They definitely all dug deep, and it looks like they paced it well, figured it out, worked on some things, and finished at Pipeline with something to, you know, spare going into the next big day. Everyone waking up in the house, you could tell, was a little bit groggy, very sore, a bit tired. But the goal today is to start in town at the race start, work your way over St. Kevin's and up Sugarloaf, and then down Powerline, all the way out to Pipeline, and then do it in reverse, all the way back to Leadville.
It burns. Lungs, legs.
So like back-to-back days like this, I'm definitely feeling, and that bouncing back like I have in the past. The body hurts, but we're making it work.
This feels hard. It's because you're at 11,000 feet officially. Is that the highest you've ever ridden your bike?
Only by about like 9,000 feet.
Soul crushing, Ryan, soul crushing.
Now they have the hardest descent in the entire course, the Powerline descent. And it's rocky, it's loose, it's the hardest mountain biking a lot of these guys have done.
If I run into someone who tells me this one more time, if they say Leadville is not a technical course, I'm gonna punch them in the face.
All right, so you look at that, what are you thinking?
That is, if I look there, scary. If I look there, beautiful.
Slow, 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 stay slow.
Scary. I haven't been scared the rest of this weekend. On the descent, my legs were just yellow, and it was the first time I was scared the entire time.
In my opinion, one of the hardest parts of this project is following them down the descent, following people who are learning how to descend. People call Leadville maybe not a technical race, but I vehemently disagree with that, especially for someone who's getting into the sport for the first time. Today I was following Rachel down. We had climbed Sugarloaf and we were descending down the top section of headed toward Power Line, and she ended up getting bucked off her bike a little bit.
Easy does it.
How about your elbow?
I don't know. I'm just worried about my head. It honestly feels okay, but same side impact. My mental game was already just off in the sense of I was tired today climbing and stuff, but descending felt really good and like I felt clear-headed, but I just picked this line that kind of bucked me and I crashed. I landed on my left side, but luckily like head isn't hurting, which I'm so thankful for. Just have some scratches and cuts. But yeah, overall, the day was a mental struggle.
Rachel! How you doing?
I just got booked. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Nice and easy, keep it in control. Nice, in control. Dude, you freaking killed that. That was so sick. So good. Unreal.
Awesome!
Oh my God.
Beast mode.
Unbelievable.
Exhausted after the climbs of St. Kevin's, Sugarloaf, and the descent of Power Line, David and Johanna want to call it a day. Knowing the challenge that race day brings, Ryan talks with the two to make sure they're making the best decision.
Look at where you were 2 years ago. Look at what you've done.
Do you still need this?
This is hard.
No.
You lay it out there every day. So if you truly feel like this is the best call, I totally believe you.
Thank you.
Like, your boys are gonna be so proud of you. Your husband's gonna be proud of you. We are all, I truly am. I knew it was gonna be hard. But to see you just grinding and like following the cues of like, get off the bike, just keep walking, keep pushing. It was really inspiring for me. But just keep giving it your all. You're gonna be so proud of yourself. And I know you already are.
Yeah.
The weekend overall has been really good. It's been like so helpful to see the course and to just like push through the hard moments, but also like rebuild confidence of like picking a line and committing and all the skills we've learned with our mountain bikes, actually like applying them again. And so I kind of know what I need to take away from this weekend and apply for the next 6 weeks.
Leadville, it's just very American. It's like bigger than anything, steeper than anything, faster descents than anything. It's just bigger. These 2 days were absolutely the hardest thing I've done. The altitude just makes everything so much harder. But even if that wasn't an issue, this course is just hard.
I have a lot of work to do. This camp made me realize that my fitness level at home is not my fitness level here. It made me realize I still have a long ways to go on climbing. But the good part of that is I have 6 weeks to do that. After this weekend, I realized how little I understood the magnitude of this race, like how much of a beast this race was. There's no way this race doesn't, force you to operate beyond what you should be able to do.
Next time on From the Ground Up, 6 months of preparation and training has come to an end as race day arrives. Now it's time to dig deep and face the Leadville Trail 100.
Struggling more than I thought I would.